and we're here with Steve Bates, or is it Steven? Stephen Bates from Canada, right?
Yes,
You're from
yes,
Canada?
I am.
And I'm told that he's an important interview because you're an avid fisherman, you watch the show.
I do.
But you didn't think you would be right as a guest on this Lunkerville late night television because you see the show and you see the guests we have. But what else were you thinking? Why don't you think you can be a good guest? You got self-esteem issues or what?
No. No, I guess the fact that for the last 20 years I've been professionally fishing in Canada, the demo of where you go and what you do is not something that I would normally do, but I think that's what intrigues me about it. It's because it's so cool. There's so many people do not have a $75,000 boat and a truck and the trailer and all the rest of it, or the means or the fuel or the the expense cost of it. And but that's what I like about the show.
See, but we sometimes have avid anglers. We've had tournament pros, and that's the thing with Lunkerville is that anyone could be on the show as long as you have a passion for fishing. So tell me a little bit about your fishing history, how you got into it, what you do now.
In Canada, we're very lucky because of the diversity of all of the fishing we have. Whether it be bass or pike or muskie or sunfish or whatever. The fact is that you can go anywhere, just about any pond or any lake in the country and catch fish. Born in Ontario, I had a very avid great uncle of mine who didn't have any children and sort of took me under his wing. My father was always working, but my uncle had the time to spend with me. He was a navigator in the Second World War. He owned a plane, a little Cessna. He had a cottage up about 200 miles north of Toronto, where my main city was. And we used to fly up every weekend. We'd get in his plane on Toronto Island and fly up, and the float plane, it hit all these different lakes. And I'm talking from when I was 3 years old until I was about 18, where unfortunately he passed away suddenly. But what he instilled in me in fishing and hunting was incredible. And and as I grew up, we had a cottage all the time. We went every weekend. And my father always made sure that I had worms. I had my Mitchell 300 and away I went and, had worms, and we fished every weekend. And everybody else was playing hide and go seek at baseball, and I was just fishing. When I was about 8, he bought me a little 12-foot aluminum and a 7 Evinrude, and now I could hit the lake, and my whole life has been fishing. Right?
Well, the Cessna thing, jumping from lake to lake, that sounds like a dream come true.
And my uncle was a prankster. He would like cut the engine and go, uh-oh, and that kind of thing, and start to fall out of the sky, and I'd be going, and then he'd go, ah, he had this big hearty laugh, and he'd fire it back up, and away we went.
Oh, that's not nice.
He had an army Jeep, we did the coolest things. I'm the luckiest guy on earth, and being able to turn my passion into my career, because I'm with the Federation of Anglers and Hunters in Ontario, and we have Ontario Outdoors Magazine, Angler and Hunter Television, Angler and Hunter Radio. I saw the national sales director for that too, so I do all of the sales for the Federation, so that's kind of cool.
Is that just Canada?
That's just Canada.
It's not in the U.S.?
No, it's just Canada.
Are you on WFN, the TV show?
We're on WFN.
Okay,
we're on both, because we have a hunting and a fishing show. It's Angler and Hunter Television, so we have a hunting and fishing show on both, WFN and the Wild TV.
And are you on the show?
I have been on the show,
You should be the host. You got quite the personality.
It's
and you got all the experience, man.
You know what? I don't envy how hard you work, and you know what I'm talking about when I say that, because I've done shows, and when people see, oh, that looks like so much fun, I'd really want to do that. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And Mother Nature doesn't always say to me, hey, let's go out and we'll catch all kinds of fish today. It'll be great. It'll be sunny and perfect, and it'll be nice and cool. Wrong. It rains or it's windy and it's howling and you got to retake. And
when you have deadlines and stuff, and if you're not catching fish, it can be. My show's a little easier because I don't have all the pressure of being the expert. I'm just there learning, asking the questions. And we've had some of our best shows. We've caught like one fish, and it's been raining and all that. But give me a crazy fishing story. You've been fishing all your life. Give me something that's just nutty.
The craziest thing that ever happened to me fishing was I was in a classic. We do a tournament series in Canada. I've been doing it for 20 years. We were in the Pro-Am, and it was a classic. And in the lock, we had the lock down for the blast off, and I had a scrutineer with me.
What do you mean lock down?
And we were in locks. We had the lock from lake to lake. Okay, so we had to go down, and so we've got like 30 bass boats inside the lock, so we're tight. We're all jammed together, real tight. And I had a brand new boat at the time. I was sponsored by OMC years ago, and I had this guy, and he's just scrutineer. And I said, "Okay, do me a favor." I said, "As we're going down, we were on the outside by the lock where all the goo is on the wall." I said, "Don't let the boat touch the wall if you can, because I don't want to get my boat covered in gunk." And I'm fooling around. I'm looking, and I hear splash, and I look, and he's gone. He fell off my boat in the lock as we're locking down. So it's a little bit of panic sets in because the lock's going down, sucking him under, and he's flailing around like. So I had to grab him, pull him back into my boat, and he was covered in goose. And now the boat got covered in junk, but we had all the other tournament anglers, which was cool because it was scary for a minute. And they all started throwing clothes. I said, buddy, you got to take your clothes off. We're going to have to read. Oh, no, I'll be fine. I'm running 28 miles at 75 miles an hour, and it's September. You're going to freeze to death.
Freeze to death.
So we managed to, this is all was being filmed. Got him down to his skivvies and changed them all up, and everybody threw stuff. The other anglers, sort of gave us suits and got him going. The part of this story that was crazy was I couldn't fit all day long. I looked back and I got his clothes all over the boat trying to dry, and every time I looked at him, I started to laugh. I was laughing my head off. It was tough fishing, but we did okay, but it was tough.
You're doing great work, Steve. Terrific to meet you.
Great to meet you. Great
Thanks
show.
for being
You're
on the
doing good.
show.
Keep it going.
And we'll see you around the floor at ICAST
I will.
2013.